Welcome to Grace Today, a daily vlog designed to encourage you and equip you with the Word of God. Let's begin. All right, beloved, as we continue to reflect on Luke chapter 11, verses 1 through 13, in this call to prayer, the second main point that we looked at on Sunday was that Jesus calls us to persistent prayer. And he shows this with this illustration of the friend and the neighbor. The neighbor goes with a need. It's a real desperate need. Hospitality was a big deal in that time, and he's persistent in that. And even though the grumpy neighbor doesn't want to get up at first, eventually he gets up because of his persistence. As we talked about on Sunday, the obvious application of this is we should be persistent in prayer. This, as I mentioned on Sunday, is the thrust behind 1 Thessalonians 5:17 tells us to pray without ceasing. The idea there is pray without giving up. Don't give up in our prayers. It's more about persistence than it is about frequency. So we want to pray persistently, but we also want to recognize the argument from lesser to greater that Jesus is making in this. He's not saying God is like a grumpy neighbor and we just have to badger him into giving us what he wants. He's saying, no, listen, if a grumpy neighbor would be willing to give in to persistent prayer, how much more so our loving, generous God. And so we should be persistent in prayers, and we should be so because the Lord works through prayers and calls us to pray, but also because of what we know about him, that he is good and generous in answering his prayers. So I want to encourage you today, think about something that maybe you've given up on prayer. Maybe it's that loved one that you've been praying to get saved and they haven't got saved. It's been a long time praying, and maybe you've slowed down in your prayers for them. Resume that prayer. Maybe it's a provision that you've been waiting for, that you've been praying for, and you've given up on praying for it. Maybe it's spiritual growth in a certain area that you've been praying for. You haven't seen the growth you wanted, so you've given up on prayer on it. Friends, get back to praying. Think about those things in which you have maybe become discouraged and stop praying about, and pray about them today. I love you, Grace Community, and I'm praying for you. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to Grace Today. For more information on Grace Community Baptist Church of Elgin, Texas, and how you can support this ministry, check out the links in the description below. See you tomorrow.